I want to talk to you about how to use a Google Pay to shop and transfer money this year. So here's a prologue to today's conversation. So beyond simple transactions, Google Pay has become a convenient way to send money to friends and family. And the thing is that during COVID, for instance, Google Pay has actually become a significant conduit through which folks are actually communicating in terms of sending money, in terms of even shopping online. Remember, during COVID, folks were surrounded at home and nobody could really go out and shop. So having a tool such as Google Pay or even Samsung Pay or Apple Pay was was really welcome here. So learning how to use Google Pay is very easy, whether you have an Android device or even an iPhone. I mean, a lot of folks believe that you got to have an Android device to actually use Google Pay. Like if you have an iPhone, you can't use a Google Pay. You can use Google Pay. No. You can use Google Pay even if you have an iPhone. And so Google's digital payment platform lets users pay for products and services online and in stores, send money, and also save loyalty cards all in one app. So this centrality of money management processes is really good. That's what we love with Google Pay. So you have the ability to do all kinds of stuff using one app. Okay, so pay for products and services, send money, and also save loyalty cards. One thing for sure is that with online shopping and contactless payments becoming more popular, Google Pay has become an important tool for people who want a safe and easy way to manage their money. So I want you to really think. I mean, before I get into the nitty gritty, I want you to think about Google Pay as a tool that allows you to manage your money. It's not just a tool that allows you to send and receive money, but also to manage your money, to your cash inflows and cash outflows, so you know what's really happening with your money. Okay, and Google Pay makes paying easier and gives you extra perks like rewards and savings, making it a great alternative to other payment platforms such as Apple Pay and Samsung Pay, especially and even the BNPL apps like you have Afterpay, Klarna, and so on and so forth. So you have a lot of flexibility with Google Pay. Now let me walk you through how to set up. Let me give you the setup here. How to set up Google Pay. So to use Google Pay, you must have an active Google account. And if you don't, take the time right now to create one because Google is going to request you to actually have. It's going to require you rather to have a Google account. Okay, so you got to have a Gmail account. So John Doe at gmail.com. You got to have an account. So now once you have the Google account, you want to download the Google Pay app from your phone's app store. So basically, what will happen? You can see this on the screen. It's pretty straightforward. This is actually pretty straightforward process. And remember that you can't use Google Pay until you have the app. Everything happens through the app. There's no desktop, no tablet, whatever. No, everything happens through your your mobile device. Okay, so that's the first step. The first step is pretty straightforward. You want to download the Google Pay app from your phone's app store. Next, you want to open the app. So select your country and in the upper right corner. Then sign in with your Google account, the account that you just created a little earlier, right? That's what I was telling you, that you gotta have a Google account. So you need to sign in with your Google account, and so now Google might send you. It depends on the security features, the security settings in your country or your device. Google might send you an extra step. They might send you an email with a code, whatever. Right? But in most cases, they do not send anything. So you want to tap continue, and you want to set up your privacy preferences. You got to set up your privacy preferences so that you can let people find you only by your phone number and make your transactions public if you want. I mean, and again, this is actually kind of similar to what Venmo also has. Apple Pay also has it. So you always have the possibility to control what you want to disclose to the world. Okay, but if you don't like getting into it right away, you can also select not now and adjust the preferences later in your Google account. Don't forget that though. Don't forget this very important extra step that will give you more flexibility down the road. So that's an important element to think about. So choose your country so the app knows which currency to use. You got to really specify that also. So the third step is you must add a payment method by linking your credit or debit card, bank account, or a PayPal account to your Google Pay account. So, and that's an important element for Google Pay to actually control your cash inflows. So you want to tap add an account iOS or link account Android. Note if you've already added credit or debit cards to your phone's native wallet app, Google Pay might automatically add them to the app. Now you have to be comfortable that this is the card that you want to use for Google Pay. If not, you need to specify that. Remember that Google Pay is all about flexibility, but you have to have the cash in the source account. So if the source account is not the right account, you want to tweak that. You want to change that right now. This is the time to actually change that. So connect the main bank account you want to withdraw money from. That's what I mean by a source account. Next, Google Pay uses Plaid, a third-party service, to obtain transaction and balance information from your account. So select accept to agree, then continue on the next screen. And it's one of those steps where you have no choice anyway, because you have to agree. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere. So here's the next screen. So you can see that on the next screen, accept the terms and conditions to continue. So you got to accept the terms and conditions. One thing I want to specify here is that sometimes you have, if you are using an account, let's say you are a joint account holder, you and your wife or you and your husband are actually using the same account. So if you have to sign up for Google Pay, you have to actually let him or him or her know in advance, so that if Google is sending some messages to your spouse or to your, that person is not surprised, because nowadays you have a lot of scams. You have a lot of hacking. So if you have to inform those relatives or those, if you are sharing an account, bank account, credit card account, debit card account with somebody else, you have to let the person know way in advance, okay? Because with Google Pay, you have a lot of notifications that go here and there, so you want to really be sure about that. Next, you want to select your financial institution from the short list, or type its name into the search bar at the top if you don't see it listed. So when you find it, select it and log in, okay? Now, when we talk about select your financial institution, this is not just banks. You can have a credit union also. So that's really what it is. So, but the cool thing is Plaid actually covers most financial institutions anyway. Even nowadays, those neobanks, those new online banks are also referenced in Plaid. So you'll have to find your bank's logo. It's a good thing that they all mostly have their name on it, so that's kind of cool. And so if the app is able to connect to your bank, the platform will let you know your account was successfully added. And what you want to do here is that you want to tap continue to finish, and that's it. You're all set. You can use Google Pay immediately. So you can see that basically the most important thing here is to actually make sure the source account is well funded. In other words, the checking account the checking or savings account from where the money will come from to pay for your online transactions has to be well funded. So the app is connected and ready for use. You just click continue and you're good to go. One thing I want to mention also is that at the end of the day, it's all about security and safety, and it's also all about speed, right? So every now and then, basically, Google will have security patches will push security patches through its Google Pay app. So just make sure that you are basically updating, like whatever updates notifications you have from Google. You want to do whatever you have to do on your phone, because otherwise you might be actually using an outdated app, which is not really where you want to be, especially if you are going to use this app for transactions online and even in person. So remember, Google Pay is actually available for in-person transactions also. So if you go to a store, for instance, or if you go to a restaurant, you can also use a Google Pay to actually pay for products and services. So that's the flexibility we love a lot. Let's talk about the usage here. So how do you send and receive money with Google Pay? Well, once you link your bank account or debit card to the app, you can easily pay your friend back for last Saturday's brunch, or anything else. Just tap send or request. Select the person you want to send money to, enter the amount, and confirm the transaction. Just make sure that the amount and the person you want to send those funds to, that information is correct. You can also request money from others by entering their email address or phone number. And again, same thing here. You want to make sure that it's the right information, because otherwise you'll be sending or receiving money from. You'll be sending money to the wrong person or asking money from the wrong person. Okay. So you want to choose who you want to send money to and how much. And so how do you use Google Pay in stores? Let's talk about iOS and Watch OS. So once you have set everything up on your iPhone or Apple Watch, you can use Google Pay without opening the app. All you have to do is unlock your Apple device, hold it near a contactless payment terminal, and follow the instructions on the screen. Your gadget might ask you to authenticate the transaction via Face ID or by providing your fingerprint or pressing the lock screen button. Note that you can't add a gift card to Google Pay on iOS, as that feature is only available for the Android version of the app, so something to really think about. What about Android? So Google Pay doesn't come downloaded by default on Android phones, so you have to download it and set it up. Once that's done, you can pay without opening the app. Just unlock your device and hold it close to a contactless payment terminal. And so how do you actually use Google Pay for online and in-app purchases? Well, figuring out how to use Google Pay for in-app and online purchases is kind of simple and straightforward, by the way. Just look for the right payment option at checkout. Select it, choose the card you want to use for the transaction, if you've added more than one, and follow the instructions. If you are using a credit card, by the way, you might have to confirm the security code, the CVV at the back of the card, and if prompted, finish by authenticating the purchase using your device's security measures. Keep in mind that not all vendors support Google Pay, so if that's your only available payment method, make sure the website or app is compatible before filling up your card. That way you don't waste time and you don't get frustrated at the end. So let me give you a few extras here. So it's important to really understand that when we talk about using Google Pay to shop and transfer money to friends and family, you have to first understand who accepts Google Pay, right? Now, Google Pay is a pretty well known, it's pretty prominent. Many businesses, including websites, apps, and physical stores, accept Google Pay. On the web and on your phone, look for the Google Pay option at checkout. And so that's pretty straightforward. And when you are in a store, you want to look for contactless payment options or for the Google Pay logo. You will usually find it by the register, the door of a business, or on the payment terminal screen. So that way you know that you have flexibility actually knocking on your door. So additionally, you can use a Google Pay for peer-to-peer payments between individuals, just like Venmo, PayPal, or Chime. So that's kind of cool in terms of flexibility. You can request somebody to pay you for the money that you paid at the last time at the bar, whatever. Okay, and now the thing is that people always get confused when we talk about Google Pay versus bank accounts. Basically, you don't need to link your bank account to use Google Pay. You can just add a debit or a credit card, though that will only work to pay merchants directly. So if you want to use the app to send or request money, you will need to link a bank account, because a credit card is not your money. It's debt. So there are some strictures. There are some restrictions around the use of credit card as a source account. So if you don't have a bank account at all, you can still use Google Pay. Instead of a credit card or a debit card, just link the platform to a prepaid card to make payments online and in store. So that's really what you have to really think about. And Google Pay is definitely safe. It uses multiple layers of encryption to protect user information and offers features like biometric authentication to enhance security. So that's kind of cool. Additionally, Google Pay actually does not store actual card numbers, and this reduces the risk of fraud in case of phishing or data leaks. I mean, stuff happens, you never know, right? So the thing is that Google payment methods vary depending on the country and the specific payment method used. So there may be a daily transaction limit for international transfers. So it is actually best to check with your bank or Google Pay's support for the most accurate information regarding limits. That way you are sure about how much you can qualify for. Now, if you're thinking about Google Pay and withdrawals, you have to really understand that Google Pay actually was not set up and currently does not support cash withdrawals. So it's one of those things where, Google Pay actually, everything, as I said a little earlier, everything happens within the app. Things don't even happen on desktop or tablets. No, no, everything happens within the app. So Google Pay actually does not support cash withdrawals. It is actually designed for making digital payments and transferring money to others electronically. So that's the idea that you don't have to actually touch money, but you can actually manipulate. You can actually you can really you can control large sums. And so the thing is that if you're thinking about Google Pay as a tool that works like a debit card, it's a little different. Let me just break it down for you. So Google Pay is a digital extension of your traditional payment methods. So it really operates under the same rules. This means what? It means that if you link your debit card to Google Pay, the platform will act like a debit card and apply charges directly to your checking account as you're spending. No matter if you're spending money to someone, or let's say if you're sending money to someone or paying for an in-app purchase. And so that's an important element to think about. Now, sometimes we hear the term Google Wallet and Google Pay. What is the difference? Well, Google Wallet is available only for Android devices and allows users to save digital working copies of credit and debit cards, concert tickets, boarding passes, and even your COVID vaccination card. I mean, that was back in the days when COVID wasn't around. And you can use a Google Wallet to shop in store by placing your phone near a contactless payment terminal. Meanwhile, Google Pay, available for Android and iOS, is a more comprehensive money management platform. It allows for peer-to-peer payments, as well as purchases both online and in-store. And on an Android devices, it connects directly with the wallet to use added payment methods. So that's really the correlation here, but also the divergence. It's not something to really think about. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about how to use Google Pay to shop and transfer money to friends and family. I give you the prologue, the setup, the usage, the extras, and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.